It's awesome. Hey, John Rankin here. Today I have with me a very special guest from season 1 and now season 2. Jenny, how do you say your last name? Is it Glaser? I want to make sure I do it. Glaser.
Glaser, yep.
Yeah, okay. It's like a laser. That's how I always, with a G in front. So I've been in my head saying it wrong this whole time.
It's totally okay. Most people do.
Yeah. So I just want to kind of introduce you to my crowd of people and let them to kind of get to know you. So you're a single mom. You got 3 kids, 6, 9, and 16. Tell me a little bit, and you're living up in Maple Grove, Minnesota, right?
Yep.
Where they say, how do you guys say it? It's
the land of
we say y'all.
Oh. Wait, what? No.
You guys have a different word up there. You're always doing like oi or something like that.
They say oi,
yeah.
not originally from Minnesota, so I have no idea.
Wisconsin is pretty much the same as Minnesota. Minus the Packers.
True story. Well, we won't go into that. Okay, John.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and then I want to kind of get into your role in Rank Makers and some of those things.
Yes, absolutely. So like John said, I'm a mother of 3. I work network marketing business. That is how I found the show, was through Rank Makers with Ray. And yeah, so I was on season 1 of Play to Win. And since then, I have landed a coaching job within Ray Higdon's Inner Circle Coaching. And so that's what I do. I work from home coaching and also my own network marketing business. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, good. So how long had you been a part of Rank Makers up till now?
It will be 2 years, coming up 2 years-ish about.
Okay. And how did you get introduced to him?
I actually found him scrolling through Facebook, where I was just like, I was lost in my network marketing business, right? So I'm like scrolling and I see safe place to learn and grow your business. I was like, oh man, I could use some help in this arena. So I joined Rank Makers, and it was literally, I was in it for 60 days and they announced the Play to Win auditions. So I was like, I just had joined. I was like, okay, now there's these auditions for Play to Win season 1. And so I went for it at the time, but I was really new with Ray and his system. And
yeah. So tell me about season 1, the audition. I mean, what made you go for that? I mean, it takes somebody different to throw their name in that hat.
Yes, absolutely. I think that I was just ready in all areas to just grow. And Ray is somebody that talks about stepping out of your comfort zone, like playing bigger. And I was just like, it's either now or never, right? Like I was invested in my business at that time, and I saw it as this opportunity to just try something new. What better way than to see if you had a chance? So yeah, I auditioned. It was honestly, I don't know, like, I don't know the reason why or what it was as far as like what pushed me to do it, besides the fact that I was just ready to take on something new and try out.
That's pretty interesting. Just the way you frame it. You're like,
I am all for like, okay, what's this new adventure? You got to do something different, right? Like totally out of my comfort zone. I am not somebody that is behind the camera or even like lives, so yeah.
Okay, so season 1 for you guys ends. Obviously, Michelle, who was on yesterday, won. What was it for you that you think was the biggest takeaway and the biggest area of growth coming out of season 1? Because I've heard from season 2 contestants and now Michelle, but you're the only other season 1 person. What did you gain from just being on the show?
Oh wow, that's a loaded question. so much of my life has changed. You know, when you surround yourself with like-minded individuals and entrepreneurs and also mentors such as Ray, and what he has created, even, you know, To Market Media was there, but just people that are trying to play big and give back and help each other out. There's just so much power behind that, right? And so I feel like I was slapped in the face in many ways, as far as like, wow, like it was a question of how I was really showing up in life, like how I was showing up not only in my business but also in my life. Like and of course they pulled out stories, and I really realized from that show that you don't know what anyone else is going through, right? Like you don't know everyone else's journey, but everyone has gone through some stuff, and I witnessed it, I saw it, we shared it, and it was just impactful in so many ways that way.
Yeah. Now, you know, a lot of the season 2 contestants have talked about just there's this bond where, which obviously, and we'll get into it in a minute, season 1 and season 2 were radically different. I don't think you guys got as much time with each other as we did. But do you still keep in touch with everybody from season 1? Is there still like that sense of, holy cow, we all went through this journey together?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like you grow bonds not only in network marketing, but obviously the show. So yes, there's quite a few of us that have bonded outside of that. And I think that when you grow with other people, you know, that's just a connection that you always have, right? Like just that growth. And I've even met some amazing people on your season, on season 2, that I'm friends with. And so it's incredible, this space, and the opportunity was amazing. So I don't know, I've gained a lot of connections, a lot of love and support and help. So
Yeah.
truly grateful.
Now, I don't know why, because I didn't ask this to Michelle, but I'm going to ask it to you because I think it's a different answer. So season 2 gets announced. When did Ray call you and say, hey, I want you to come down and help out?
Oh, this is a fun story. So actually, you know, we, on the first show, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, but we were able to get out on the streets and sell, you know, whatever they had landed us. And so that in itself was pretty intense, like just going out and selling whatever. But after that, he had competitions where, okay, he gave us a competition to sell tickets, and you could win a spot on season 2. And so like myself was like, I'm gonna win this, you know. So I and Rank Makers Live is an amazing event. They're doing another one this October, but I just wanted my team to go, everybody to go, not only for the competition, but also for, you know, the amazing support and the speakers. But yeah, so that's how I ended up landing that spot in season 2. So
oh, okay.
It was a competition, John. It was a competition.
All right. Okay, that's good to know. So I know, because of just the way that you came into the show, that you're going to have a more limited perspective, because Michelle was there all week long. But what do you think, from what you gathered from your time on the show, was the biggest difference between season 1 and season 2?
Wow. There were a lot of differences, and without giving away too much, I would say, wow, like I would say that yours was comparable to almost like a boot camp, like different levels, as far as like definitely more avenues of things that you guys did. And I don't know how to say that without giving it away. Whereas season 1, we all went through, you know, pretty similar, just, you know, the 3 things, and that was kind of our routine in the day. So this one's completely different. I'm really excited for this release because you guys went through some tough stuff, and and it's exciting, and to see the growth and just man, did you see that trailer was amazing. For those that did not see the trailer, check out John's page. I know it's on there because they really did an amazing job with that. It's really what it was about. It's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on that one because you guys went through a lot.
Yeah, we really did. And that was one of the questions. So I didn't have any background with Ray. I never saw the trailer. I only saw a clip of my friend Trep when I decided, hey, I'm going to be on the next one, period. So talk to me a little bit about the release. When you got to see the trailer, what did you think? And did you guys have that kind of build up for you guys? And what was that like season one compared to watching it this time as a kind of a spectator? Not really, but kind of.
Yes, when you're in that moment, it's really intense. Like I was not only nervous, but like they pull so much out of you and dig deep into your past. And so you never know what's going to be exposed, right? So of course there's a lot of kind of, I had anxiety. Like I was nervous, but excited because I knew that I grew. I am all for like, oh my gosh, like what, like what's going to go, but yeah, I left there a whole changed person. Let me just tell you that. And I feel like 6 to 8 months after that show, you're still growing, right? So I just think that when I saw that trailer, it was exciting. And now that season 2 is out, this trailer is also excited. And I learn even from watching other people's stories. So that's another reason why, like, I'm just the growth that all of you guys had, and I got to witness, like, meet all of you guys then and see you guys grow now. And I feel like that in itself is it's amazing. It's powerful.
Yeah. I shared it with you. So she's on the live. One is Jen, amazing transformation just in the 6 months from the show. And we have our, which I assume you guys do too, where you have your own private group for the contestants where you guys can share things. And it's just really been interesting to watch people break through just a variety of different obstacles in their own life and how they've connected on even a deeper level since the show, and sharing and helping. And even though many of them are in completely opposite companies, there's just a teamwork that's taking place that, wouldn't really exist, I don't think, without the show.
Right. Yeah. And I think that goes in a lot as far as like when you are ready for change, right? And I feel like everybody that entered that show, they were ready for that. They were just ready at some point in their lives, like ready for change. And that really took everyone out of their comfort zone. It pushed people a lot harder, a lot faster. And I don't know if you saw Ray's post today, but he even mentioned like surround yourself by mentors or those that push you. And I feel like that's what we have as a culture, within not only within like the Play to Win show, but network marketing altogether. But yeah, definitely that show pushed us all out of our comfort zones and eager and wanting to change in all areas of our life, I feel like. So whether it's all of it. So
we get to the last day without giving away anything. Did you actually know, like I'm trying to figure it out because it all happened, at least from the contestants' perspective, pretty spontaneous, where you got to get back in the show as a competitor. Did you know that coming in that was going to happen?
No, I don't think you know anything going into that show, right? Like you're just blinded. Yeah. Like here you go, now show up, right? Like that's just how it is.
So day 5, it's the conclusion. There's this weird twist where all of a sudden season 1 competitors, Michelle and you, get called to come and compete. What was going through your head?
Yes. Yeah. There's definitely a twist in the show. There's a few of them, but that's what makes it exciting, right? Like that's what makes it just like I said, always pushing. They are always pushing us. And so, yeah, that definitely pushed us. It was fun. It was so much fun.
It was so funny because Michelle was excited and nervous at the same time. And she was like, and from what I gathered, that was completely unscripted TV, So.
Oh, yes.
Good. So talk to me a little bit. Our finale was obviously different than you guys' finale. And because you weren't there the whole time, but on that last day, as you were watching and evaluating and participating, what was going through your mind as you looked at the field of who was left? What were you thinking as far as your role goes? All those kind of intricate details on that last day, because it was a whirlwind.
Yes. So I do have to say, like, when I was actually in it, I was sweating so bad. Like, I had napkins underneath my armpits. Like, it was just intense, right? Like, I was a hot mess. But going into season 2, being on the outside as a spectator, it was definitely different in an area of I watched all of you guys get to work and just the responses and I felt comfortable being on the other side of that and just watching. It was awesome. I don't even know like the word that I'm trying to think of to say for it besides watching other people compete and how they do it. Obviously you see things out of that, like how would I show up versus how are they showing up? And so it got me to think, and that's why I feel like even if you're not a part of the show or a part of a specific business in relation to any of this, anyone can find value in these episodes because of the fact that you can really put yourself in there. Like, what would I do? How would I grow? And that's what helps me grow, right? So I was just watching all of you guys compete, and yeah, it was pretty intense. You guys brought it. You guys brought it on the last day. I feel like you guys brought it because it was the last day. I don't know. Maybe I saw the best day. I'm excited to see the other days, but you guys definitely brought it.
Now, because of the way it played out, did you actually hear about any of the other challenges that season 2 had to go through before day 5? And if you did, were there any of them that you were like, oh man, I'm so happy I wasn't here for that one?
Oh yes. So I saw a lot of them from the trailer. Actually, they show quite a bit, but
they really do.
Also we kind of knew what you guys went through, at least on the last day, a little bit about it actually. But I don't know that you ever want to like put yourself in those positions, but again, it's always that growth. Like, I just love that. You guys did some intense things that I don't know how I would have reacted being on the spot. Like, that's the difference. Like, you can watch it from the outside, but until you're in it, like, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game.
So it's so funny. Kelly Ray of Light was talking about she was good as long as we didn't have to skydive. I was like, I totally would have just thrown you out of the plane. Like, because there really were, and I didn't get this email. Like, some of the people got the emails, like, what's your greatest fear? Yeah, and this was in the trailer, so I'm not, giving away anything. But how you think you would have done on the snake and spider day?
Oh, so when I was little, I used to like board grass snakes, like the little ones, but the big ones that can like go around me and squish me, like I am not about that. I don't know what I would have done. I would have sweat through my clothes. It would have been a hot mess. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have done it. Because of course, you're going to do it, but I wouldn't have enjoyed any minute of it, to be honest.
Yeah, there was quite a few that did not enjoy that. My favorite, which she's on tomorrow, is Marta. She was the girl that's come over from Poland, and her face as that snake. You guys gotta watch it. It's amazing. So talk to me about this. You're in competition mode on that last day. You're sweating bullets. I mean, the stakes are high. What were you thinking about when it came down to the end and how all that played out? Because you had a role where you were in a position where you were actually offering guidance and advice, and they were actually leaning on you to help make some decisions. That's pretty hefty.
Yeah. So, I love your questions, John. Yeah, so I just feel like it's always intense. Like you got, especially if there's anything in relation to competition or time, that just intensifies everything, right? Things don't go the way they're planned, so you have a lot of that. You always come up in it. That's what's interesting is the game plan that you come up out like. Yeah, what you come up with and then how you execute it. So I watched a lot of that, like the execution, like not working out the way that people intended, and the opposite, like working out the way that they were hoping. So it's just intense all around. But I would say that the last day, seeing everyone put it all together and just, I feel like there's just so much heart that goes behind that. Like you guys have been through every single day together. So really you see that coming out as well as you guys grow connections. And we didn't have that in season 1 where we just, like everyone competed against each other. It was definitely different in the season as you guys kind of grew with each other. So there was a difference in that. And I saw that in reflections.
Yeah. Now I can't remember, but were you there for the first challenge of the day as well? I can't remember positionally, like when you showed up. I remember you being there towards the end, but not at the beginning. So were you there for the whole 5th day?
Yes. You just didn't see me, John.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, yeah, I was. I was trying to think though. I'm like, I got there pretty early. Yeah, no, yeah, I did.
Yeah. And my questions are not loaded, Marilyn. I ask good questions.
You do ask good questions. They're good. I'm just trying to think. Like, okay.
Yeah. So this has come out in the interviews, and it's like my favorite question to ask now. Because again, I didn't have a background. So when I came into the show, I really didn't, have any kind of assumptions about how Ray and Jess were. And what I've found is that everybody was deathly afraid of Jessica. Did you find that was the case in season 1 as well?
Yeah. I would say Jessica has intensity and she wants everybody to grow. So she is not somebody that's going to back down. She is somebody that will pull it out of you and call you out or see you for you or ask or, whatever it is that she wants. But she's intense, she's fierce, and she has a heart. Like she pulls it all. Like you almost can't dismiss what she asks, like she has that intensity, I guess. So it's almost like, what is she gonna grab out of me, right? Like where is this gonna go? And so I think there's that intensity.
Yeah, there definitely is. I was joking with Michelle. I was like, about 5 minutes in, I'm like, who the hell is this lady? It had me crying, and that's not really what I do. So I was like, good night, and then they stuck me right back in with her like very quickly. And I was like, really? Like, can I get Ray? So
it's not meant to be easy, right? Like oh man, yes.
Yeah.
You see her come out in the show too that way, like that's what's awesome about Ray and Jess is they pull so much growth, and you have to be intent. I remember when Ray said in the first show, like, who's going to tell you where you're not showing up in your life? Like no one. But he is like, you pretty much invited that, like you asked for that in a sense of like joining the show. So they were intense, loving. I like to say like lovingly, like intense, like out of goodness in their heart, but they brought it intensity. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
And I've said this, I don't remember who I was talking about it with, but one of the things that I watched was as people were eliminated, Ray was still investing in them. Like he genuinely cared about their success beyond their success on the show. And I took a step back, and as I watched some of that, I was really intrigued by it, because again, I didn't really have, I'd watched some of his free coaching Fridays. That was about all. And then I knew people that knew him. So I called him and I was like, tell me about this guy. I'm about to go on this show. But that was really the extent. And to be honest, I joined Rank Makers in December. From December to February, I didn't go in the group, like, because I still didn't really get it. And so, because there was no onboarding process like they have now. And like, it was just some crazy group that he was running. I was like, so I really was, taken aback by just the way that they conducted themselves, because you have a perception about TV and people, and they just cut people off, and they were totally the opposite way. So that was pretty refreshing for me. So day 4 and 5, you're looking around the room, which is a little bit different for you. Did you know anybody that was in the room? Did you have, were there people that you had built relationships with through Rank Makers, or any of those kind of things? Because what I found was, not everybody knew everybody, but most people had 1 or 2 people that they already knew from the group. Was that the same for you?
Yes. I feel like Ray does an amazing job with that in Rank Makers, is that everyone's a community. Like, there's so much support. So you get to know, love and trust a lot of people within his circle. And I think whoever said it before, I saw the comment that they're all heart, and I think that's true, entirely true, because I knew a lot of people that were in the show, but I didn't know them, all of them, but I knew quite a few people that I had met either from Rank Makers or network marketing that were in there through business. And so, yeah, I didn't count how many people I actually knew, but there was probably like maybe 4 or 5 that I didn't know, you being one of them, but otherwise I knew pretty much everybody else.
I'm the shadow guy. Stay in the background. So the final day, this is kind of my last question for you. Yeah. No names, so don't reveal anything. There's 4 people left. Did you know any of those? And then did you have one that you thought that was going to nail it out of the park and didn't?
Oh boy. Actually, I did not know the last. I did not know the last 4. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no. And then as far, I'm trying to bring this through. Let me see. Did I know, what was the other part of the question? Did I know the last 4?
Yeah. Did you know the last 4? And as you evaluated those 4 competitors, did you look at one and go, that's the one?
I feel like, oh man, as the day was going on, there was you guys would do a challenge, and I was like, whoa, that blew it out of the water. I see that person. And then all of a sudden the next challenge, it was like, okay, that person just brought it. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of I'm going to blow this out of the water. No, I'm going to blow this out of the water. And so I would say that initially when I saw the first one, I was like, oh yes, that they have it, the way that they're showing up. But again, I hadn't seen, days leading up to that. So I just had what was in front of me. And then all of a sudden the next challenge, I was like, oh my gosh, this was really, really good. So I had doubt for sure. And it was all up in the air until that last, hurrah. So
yeah. So actually, I'm going to ask you one more, because I brought this up with Eugene. Okay. I don't know why. I think it's a good question for you. So some people might watch these interviews and think that the show is about network marketing, and because all the competitors are in network marketing. My position has been, it doesn't matter what you do, that I found that there was value inside the show for anybody who's an entrepreneur. And just talk to that a little bit, and what you think, having been a part of season 1, being a part of season 2, and just what you know about the culture. Who would you recommend to watch this, and why?
Yes. So if you have any area in your life that you're looking for growth, you should watch this. And I say that because I left that show a changed person. And I feel like Ray has done an amazing job, as well as his team, that yes, it may be geared towards network marketing, but you can apply the same things in any area of your life and see growth and change. And so I don't even know, like, network marketing, yes, sure, absolutely watch it if you're a network marketer, and you want culture and things like that. But really, I think this speaks to anybody and everybody in a way that, in a way that everyone's story unfolds. Everyone has a past, has a story, and overcoming that is what you really see from the show. You see limits pushed, you see people stepping out of their comfort zone, sharing their truths, sharing their traumas. You see all of that, and I feel like through that connection, there's just so much to learn, so many areas that you can grow. And I really think that this, like, now, more than ever, is a great time to watch, this show, and even season 1, but because we're in a spot where there is so much uncertainty, right? And so these are people that are taking an area of their life where they want to grow, and they do. You guys all flourished and rocked, and even now, so, like, I see everyone now, and I'm like, man, like, it all started, back then. But so really, you can use these tips to change any area of your business, your life, your relationships, your connections. So
Yeah, I feel that way too. I really think that anybody could learn from the show, but there was just so many stories that were being told, drug addiction and overcoming drug addiction. Megan was one of my first interviews, and she has such an amazing and powerful story. And to see her go from 80 pounds to where she's at now, super successful, and everything that she's had to overcome. And he hasn't been on yet, but some of the other guys that had to overcome stuff, and Ryan with all of his stuff. There's just so many stories. I think that it can relate to anyone. They'll find somebody. Like,
and if there's one thing that Ray has taught me, it's invest, learn, teach, right? So, if you invest the time in watching the show or any area in your life, and then learn something out of it and teach it to others. And I feel like everyone does with that story. Like, you see everybody where they started, how they overcame it. Stories are powerful. They're powerful. Like, you can really, if you can visualize it, you can really set your mind and get after anything you want in life. And I feel like that's what the show is all about, is playing to win, right? Like, playing for a better, bigger future, and turning it around and helping others. So I am grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful to be a part of it. Thank you, John.
No problem. So the show comes out September 10th. We don't know how many episodes yet. I think it's going to be 5 episodes just based on the release date and when the finals are. The finale is going to be, I think they said October 8th, right?
I believe so.
It's either 8th, 9th, or 10th. It's one of those days.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So you guys, you'll be able to tune in and watch it on Ray Higdon's page for now. But I just want to thank you for coming on and being a part of the show. It's great meeting you. And, I look forward to seeing what's next for you as well.
Thank you, John.
Just stick on for a couple more seconds.
Okay.
Let me end.